Nagkain po ng kaso ang chairman ng Youth Duterte Party List na si Ronald Cardema. 2 counts of plunder laban po kay Pangulong Bongbong Marcos Jr. Panoorin po natin.
We tried to find it in the office of the Secretary General, kaya lang they did not receive it. Meron namang deputy section doon, meron namang mga staff doon. Kaya lang kine-claim nila, it is the Secretary General lang daw himself who could receive it. Pero according to the rules of the House of Representatives, the office of the Secretary General shall receive any verified impeachment complaint. It is the office, not the Secretary General himself. So,
Okay, but so are you going to try? Are you going to try again?
yes po, try po ulit natin next week pag po nandun po si Secretary General.
Okay. So another question there is, of course, you are accusing the president of violating the Constitution and betrayal of public trust for allowing the former president to be arrested and detained by the ICC. May napanood po akong interview at ang sinasabi niyo po, labag po sa konstitusyon ang pag-surrender po dun sa dating Pangulo. Tama ho ba?
Yes ma'am, ang sinasabi natin dyan, according to the Constitution, sovereignty resides in the Filipino people. Yung soberanya ng bansa ay hindi yan sa teritoryo, kasi ang teritoryo ng isang bansa, minsan lumalawak, lumiliit, may dispute pa minsan. So ang soberanya ng Pilipinas, according to our Constitution, ay nasa atin, yung mga buhay na Pilipino ngayon. So nung nag-surrender ka ng isang buhay ng isang Pilipino sa kamay ng mga dayuhan noong March 11, nag-surrender ka rin ng soberanya ng bansa. Yun po, sinasabi natin dyan.
But the former president was surrendered to an entity, the International Criminal Court, to be able to face the accusations against him. Dito ho ba sa bansa, meron siyang kinakaharap na kaso?
Dito sa ating bansa, I think wala yata siyang kinakaharap na kaso. Pero ang isa pa nating nire-raise dyan sa culpable violation of the Constitution is lahat ng Pilipino ay binibigyan ng due process. Sa kahit anong kaso. Kasi tayo naman ma'am, kahit kasuhan tayo ng kapitbahay natin, may kaso na agad tayo. But kailangan tayo bigyan ng due process ng ating gobyerno. Ang tanong natin, yun nga mismong ICC sa Rome Statute, mayroong due process, na kapag nag-aresto yung arresting country, they need to bring him to a local judicial authority muna. So yun bang due process na binigay mismo ng ICC para doon sa ina-aresto, binigay ba ng bansa natin? Hindi naman siya dinala sa isang local judicial authority.
Yeah, and that's been the that's been the contentious issue here, Mr. Cadema, because you're quoting the Rome Statute, but the Philippine government cannot do that anymore because it was the president that you're loyal to who decided to withdraw from the ICC, and therefore the Rome Statute cannot be used in this case. So, dun po nagkakaproblema. Pananaw niyo po?
Yes, parang ang hirap kasi nung twist na yun eh. It is a twist, di ba? We coordinated with the Interpol but not with the ICC. Para tayong parang meron kang biniling bagay na sa isang tao, binili mo ng maayos, nagbayad ka ng ayos, pero ito pala yung nakaw, tapos ang sinasabi natin, hindi natin binili ito sa magnanakaw, binili natin sa isang ahente na maayos. Parang gano'n eh. Ang hirap kasi ng twist na yun, kahit ako hindi ko mapaliwanag. Pero if you are giving a Filipino citizen to the Interpol, tapos they are giving that Filipino citizen to the ICC, yun yung end. Doon pa rin napadala sa kamay ng mga dayuhan yung isang buhay ng isang Pilipino po.
Do you not think that the case filed by Senator Amy Marcos before the Office of the Ombudsman is not enough?
Ayan, buti nabanggit nyo ma'am, yung final ni Senator Amy, napakasuhan niya ang mga sekretary, mga general at opisyal ng PNP rin. Kaya lang ang problema dyan, they are all alter egos of the president, di ba? Lahat ng kanilang ginawa, siyempre, utos na yun ng principal nila. Kaya lang when the Senate is trying to corner those officials, kung sino nag-utos sa kanila sa pinakataas, those officials are always invoking the executive privilege. So hanggang doon na lang yung kaso at mention na yon.
And this is
Pero
why,
alam nyo,
and this is why, through this impeachment complaint, if you do succeed in filing it, and if it is heard
Yes, ma'am.
by the House of Representatives, which we're going to talk about in a while, this is your way of holding the president to account.
Yes, ma'am. Alam nyo, meron akong experience dyan. I was removed by the President as NYC chairman last year. Meron na lang ako natitirang 4 na buwan, kaya lang hindi ako pinatapos. Eh, ang problema dyan, there is this NYC law na siya mismo yung nag-author 30 years ago by Congressman Bongbong Marcos. Nilagyan niya ng fixed term provision yon. Ibig sabihin kahit magpalit ng presidente, hindi pwedeng magtanggal. So, nung violate ni President Bongbong Marcos yung sarili niyang NYC law, sarili niyang batas, nung na-realize ko, hindi mo pala pwedeng kasuhan ng presidente kahit nag-violate siya ng batas. I-raise ko sana sa Supreme Court, kaya lang ang sabi ng mga abogado, nobody can file a case against a sitting president.
Yep.
Ang pwede lang i-file
Hindi niyo alam yun?
isang impeachment.
Hindi niyo po alam that he has immunity from suit, and he can only
Sorry,
be
I'm not a
removed.
lawyer. So I
Okay.
need to get the advice of lawyers po when I file a case.
All right.
So, na-realize ko, wala ka pala talagang pwedeng ikaso sa presidente kahit nag-violate na siya ng batas. Kahit mismo batas niya, ha? So, ang pwede lang, i-raise mo yun through an impeachment complaint para dun siya matanong dun sa alleged wrongdoings.
Okay.
Hindi naman natin final yung ginawa sa atin. Ang final natin, itong hinaing ng maraming Pilipino, bakit dinala ang isang Pilipino, dating Pangulong Presidente, dating Pangulong Duterte, sa ibang bansa po.
Okay, which brings us to the next question. The lay of the land, though, Mr. Cardema. Let's talk about that. You have an administration that's very well entrenched in power. And if you're asked about, the chances, what are the chances, considering that he holds the support of the majority. Ano po kaya ang chance ninyo dito sa impeachment complaint na gusto nyong i-file against the president?
Alam nyo, ang dami na nagtanong sa akin yan, yung chances and yung timing. Pero ang masabi ko, kami po sa Duterte Youth Party List, kapag meron kaming issue at hand, at napakaraming Pilipino ang nananawagan, hindi na namin pinipili yung time at yung kung mananalo ba o hindi. Kasi kung ganyan ang iisipin ng lahat bago mag-file ng kaso, file lang tayo pag mananalo tayo, wala nang nagsalita para sa taong bayan. Kaya kami po sa Duterte Youth Party List, ang daming nananawagan ngayon kung sinong mananagot sa pagkakadala kay Pangulong Duterte doon. Kaya po namin sinailihan.
There are many things, this complaint, this attempt, and the failure to file a complaint being called by many names. I'm sure you're well aware of that, Mr. Cardema. 3 days before the elections, tell us why this is not a publicity stunt, and if you believe some quarters, they're saying this is not just a publicity stunt, but this is also a diversionary tactic. Your thoughts?
First of all, hindi namin kailangan yan para lang manalo next week. Yan ang katotohanan dyan. Yung pagre-raise namin ng kaso ng yan, hindi nakadagdag sa amin ng tulong. Yan naging risky pa para sa amin. Bakit? Noong January po, pang 2 na ang Duterte Youth Party List. Ibig sabihin, magkaka 3 seats kung noong January yung eleksyon. Noong February po, mas tumaas ang ratings, pang 3 seats pa rin po. Noong Marso, inaresto si Pangulong Duterte, lalo nang tumaas ang rating, pang 3 seats po. Ngayong Abril po, sa 4 na survey, nag-number 1 po ang Duterte Youth Party List. Kaya kung sinasabi ng iba dyan, kaya nila ginawa yan para lang manalo, hindi yung namin kailangan yan. Mananalo po yung Duterte Youth Party List next week. At ngayon, nung ginawa namin yan, lalo pa kaming problema dahil ang daming nabanat sa amin. So, hindi po yun yung kaso doon, ma'am.
Kung kayo po ay hindi ma-disqualify, there is now a move to disqualify the Duterte youth before the COMELEC because of your red tagging. Yun ang sinasabi ng
Alleged red tagging.
Incumbent student regents of the University of the Philippines and the Polytechnic University of the Philippines alongside concerned advocacy group Youth Alliance for Climate Action Philippines. What they have filed is a case to cancel the registration destitution of the Duterte Youth Party List over alleged violation of COMELEC Supplemental Resolution 11127, which recognizes terrorist labeling as an election offense. Your reaction to that, Mr. Cardema?
Unang-una, Ma'am Carmina, wala yan. Hindi nila sinabi sa inyo na member ako ng Kabataan Party List sa UP, no? I was a member of the Kabataan Party List in UP Los Baños, and 3 of my batchmates are already dead as NPA terrorists. Kaya kapag ako lang yung taga-gobyerno na kapag nagsasalita at nakikipagdebate sa kanila, ako yung nakaka-corner sa kanila because I was part of their organization. My uncle was the Bayan Muna Regional Coordinator for Southern Luzon. And I was also a member of Bayan Muna and Kabataan Party List. Pangalawa,
Yeah, but what does that have to do with their allegations of red tagging?
Mas knowledgeable ako about their organization bago pa sila naging member ng organization. Pangalawa, ito ang sinasabi ko dyan. Ang sinasabi ko dyan, kunyari si Raul Manuel of Kabataan Party List. Meron siyang picture with Chad Bohok na member niya sa Kabataan Party List. Chad Bohok already died in an encounter in the mountains as a terrorist NPA. Number 1 yan, ha? Number 2, si Kabataan Party List Congresswoman Sara Elago. Pumunta siya sa UP Los Baños at ang kanyang spokesperson doon para sa Kabataan Party List is the Vice Chair of the Student Council, Jan Alberto Capistrano. And ano nangyari kay Jan Alberto Capistrano? May picture silang dalawa doon sa UP. Dala-dala yung flag ng Kabataan Party List. He died as an NPA terrorist in Luisana, Laguna. Pangatlo, 2 weeks ago po, yung spokesperson ng Kabataan Party List sa UP Cebu, si Cadalia, namatay po sa encounter na with the military as an NPA terrorist. So ako hindi ko nilalahat yan kasi ako naging Kabataan Party List member, hindi naman ako NPA, kaya hindi ako red tagger na lahat kayo NPA. Sinasabi ko lang, why are there members of our organization, Kabataan Party List, who are dying as NPA terrorists? Hindi red tagging yun.
Well, there's another accusation against you, and that is what you are doing by filing attempting to file this impeachment complaint against the president, is that it's only a diversionary tactic, given that the family that you're loyal to is now mired in several controversies. You have an impending impeachment trial against the vice president. You have the recent controversy involving Congressman Duterte. What's your take on that?
Wala yan. Hindi kami nag-uusap mga yun. Walang coordination dyan. Bongbong Marcos is my ninong. Speaker Martin Romualdez is my ninong. I am even closer to the Marcoses than to the Dutertes bago ako naging Duterte supporter. Hindi nyo na inisip na tinanggal ako ni Bongbong Marcos last year. Kumaga, siyempre, sama rin ang loob ko yun, di ba? So, mga ganyang bagay ba? It is not a diversionary tactics for the Duterte incident.
All right, we've run out of time. We're going to have to leave it at that. Thanks for taking our call. Duterte Youth Party List Chairman Ronald Cardema there joining us this noon.